Hey, Scott. Thank you very much for the introduction and getting everybody ready and turned on and ready to rock and roll. Good buddy, Brad, how are you? How's your audio?
Hey, co-pilot Dan. Well, actually, I'm the co-pilot. Doing good, thanks. How are you, bud?
You know, it's a dual piloting kind of ship. Somebody could be in the bathroom and you'd have to start piloting.
It's good to have backup just in case, right?
Always good to have backup. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, maybe even enemies. I want to thank you guys for taking your time to listen to myself, Brad, and I, and Barry, Scott. We've got an incredible show for you today. And it's kind of cool, Scott, that not that many people today are subscribers. We have tons of different stuff. And what I wanted to do was scare the hell out of Brad and start with stuff that he's not used to. Guys, listen, Brad and I have known each other for so long. I get one day a week to scare the shit out of him. So I'm going to do that right now. But before we get going, and also, by the way, make everybody here a lot wiser and hopefully ready to make a lot more money. This is what we're about. Brad, here we go. Trade Ideas is not, as you might have thought, a registered investment advisor. All the information that you're going to hear from myself, Scott, Brad, anyone else affiliated with Trade Ideas should not be construed as investment advice. This information is only for educational and informational purposes only. Drum rolls, please. Brad, we've talked about this before. It's the age of Q, the age of anons, the age of research, deep thinking. No more information hidden in the hands of 6 dudes who run a portfolio of 1 trillion, billion, gazillion funds and say, that one or that one. No, we are slowly breaking people free from the confines of the mental prison where they do not touch their money. Isn't it weird, Brad, that you and I have talked about this all the time, that money today is the currency of freedom, because the more you have it, or the wealth that it provides you, you are able to control more of your life. Now, that is not always the case. We do not preach that everything, of course, is just about chasing the Benjamin. You have to have, of course, a spiritual path as well, meaning in life. But a lot of those things that you are able to do are shaped by how you're able to allocate your money getting ability. That's what we're here to do, Brad. We're here to talk about our money getting ability. So I'm going to talk.
I would say for 15 years, we've been really exposing that. We've been creating technology that allows the everyday user to tap into the market.
And that's where it's time to scare Brad.
I'm scared.
Hey guys, welcome to Trade Ideas. What you're seeing is our software, but you're seeing stuff that you don't normally see. Brad, you know how much I hate giving David Afariat credit.
I know how much you do that, yeah.
But David was right. Again, damn it, I hate doing that. Here's what he was right about. Often we start these shows and we go right into the trapeze performance and the knife throwing, the double axel, triple sow cow pole vault, which could be intimidating for the people. So what I thought is I would start with our welcome screen, which is available, but you and I have not shown this welcome screen, Brad, in how many Q&A webinars?
I mean, it's probably been years, right?
So see, was I not able to, once again, fool you? Ladies and gentlemen, Brad can barely handle it. But why are we watching this screen? Look at where you are. Look how easy it is to get started. So first of all, let's just get rid of this. New, right, Brad? Welcome screen. So this starts you off, and here is the Trade Ideas welcome screen, and believe it or not, it's fully functional. Here you can kind of see what are the different things that we have and some high-level descriptions of them. But as soon as you click on another tab, you can actually launch the windows here. So you can see what they are.
Pre-configured strategies, right?
All the things. This is kind of like the green groomed slope to get you started. And again, I don't think we do it enough justice, Brad, because it's really quite good. I mean, you can really just go to gainers, top percentage gainers, and launch, and here you have it. Now you're in a trade ideas window. So I want to really kind of, again, get back to this little window, which really lets you navigate. And by the way, if it goes away and you mess up, new, and by the way, all of this stuff, only I have this, so yours looks different. It looks like that. So again, the welcome screen. One of the reason why I started right here is for all of you people that are new and you're like, well, what is he doing? What's he talking about? Look at the overview capabilities that you have here. You know, everything that you need to know is available in one place. So of course, again, we have the strategies and also the tools. I can go here, and even though I'm an advanced user, of course, I can go to my windows, and now I can say, hey, launch me that window where I have the stocks that are halted and resumed. And I go load, and it started, quiet you, started talking to me because I have it on voice control. And so here it is. So I just wanted to kind of bring this up and make sure that you guys know that this is a fantastic way to help yourself get started. Brad, good intro. Any questions?
Yeah, you know, I was going to say it's also, we have a really comprehensive YouTube page, a lot of different videos that we've put together on the functionality of the product from a high level perspective to also a very specific feature perspective.
Well, you guys are not, listen, as our prospective customers, you're not a trick to us. We have customers and subscribers who have been with us from day one, and we are the leading innovators in this space. You know, our whole goal is being obsessed with not doing it the way that we've all been told, which is, again, what I said in the presentation, give your money to someone else. Bullshit. Now, of course, to take advantage of taxes and everything, Brad and I, we have 401ks, but that does not mean we don't touch the market ourselves. Again, we know full well the 401ks will do well for us, but they're not going to get us rich. They're going to make us do all right. If the market does all right, by the way, Brad, as you and I both know, from 2000 to 2017, at least in terms of the NASDAQ, the market was not doing all right. It took 17 years for it to break even. 17 years. So again, it is very important for us to dispel many of the myths. So then the next thing that I want to do, Brad, is once again, start from the point of view of simplicity. And we're going to talk about, because I'm going to get you guys to, I mean, I don't even have much time, Brad. I got to get them to making money soon.
You have about 45 minutes.
I know, guys, get ready. We're going to jump into money making mode. So one of the biggest things that's my pet peeve about presentations and training and teaching and all this stuff is you get so into the specifics. There's nothing I can tell you about a stock today, for example. I can show you a stock, and we'll see some stocks shortly. And if I see it, okay, like, for example, this stock kind of looks interesting, like something's going on today. But the fact that I saw today is really not going to be meaningful for you tomorrow when the market's open, unless something happens again and you're watching it. And then again, you don't know, because is this the right time? Well, you kind of missed it from here. I mean, you know, you could have gotten into it. The software tried to pick it up, did not get it right here, and did not get it right here. And again, and we'll get to all this. But my point being is, I want to keep it simple today. One chart, and I'm showing you all this stuff, how I can start and create a space where I can see things without really doing a lot of work. I duplicate it, and here I have a daily, and I'm going to go to time frame. All I'm doing is right clicking, and I'm going to switch to 10 minutes. Again, the toolbar, you know, again, it's not relevant for, I can kind of keep it here, I can keep it here. It's really a part of your symmetry, but I'm going to get to something very important.
Boy, look at that after hours trading though. Holy criminy.
Oh yeah, well, that's also why we talk about volatility and why there's no free and easy lunch. I mean, that's one of the things that of course everyone will know soon enough. But let's go to tools. Oops, I'm sorry. Go to file, and I'm going to load from cloud. So this is something, the cloud is like your Dropbox, but within Trade Ideas. And here I have a bunch of windows that I store on my own servers inside of Trade Ideas. And I have so many different things, okay? Tons and tons and tons of stuff, but I'm gonna open a top list because I'm gonna try to show you something. So I have this one called Hey, Watch Me. Okay, and I'm gonna sort it, and I'm gonna do something that again is very important because this is what separates the men from the boys, or rather the real breakthrough in technology from just bullshit. So let's just take a look at what we're about to do. Now look at this CRME. This looks pretty interesting. By the way, I'm getting into the whole, this is going to lead right into the making money. So don't worry, I'm asking you to watch this because the fact that you yourself are watching this, I'm already helping you. Like that, Brad? You didn't have to do anything.
Very
I don't even
perfect.
know why, I sometimes don't even know why I need an assistant. I'm helping everybody.
I'm just making sure you don't go off the rails too far.
Indeed. Okay, so here I am, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm doing is I'm doing visualization reps of charts that are setting up. You do not have to know anything for your mind to record what is happening with these stocks. You're just seeing things. Your mind is already making, your mind is using your instinct and your intellect together to come up with some preconceived notions, and something will tell you all of a sudden, and I'll point it out for myself as well. Like if there's something that I need to address, whoa. Why did I say whoa, Brad? You know, like guys, it's like cut.
I think you're looking.
Cut. I need stand in. See, Brad, come on. I gotta get you.
Yeah, well, you know, look, I think you're looking at the daily potential there. You've got some activity here on the intraday, and the potential for the daily is incredible.
So this, visually speaking, made my eyes go what we call is like that little spider sense. Like this thing's like, whoa, something's going on. Okay, well, Brad, now what?
Well, what I would do is I would be setting a price alert here, because that's probably one of the better pieces of functionality that's going to alert you to the break here that we're looking for.
So Brad is correct. Again, since we are not in this trade, there's a lot of things that our software is doing behind the scenes to help you. Number one, if we bought it right here, it's telling you that roughly speaking, this is your smart stop, because if it goes back to here, well, there's a good likelihood it's going to go even lower. That's good to know. You're out. Now, I'm looking at this area right here, Brad, and I see that, you know, a lot of volatility on the breakout. So what I'm actually saying to my buddy Brad is I'm going to go right over here and above this guy and say, now it really looks right. So I'm going to show you something very important. Boom. So I just created a signal. Does everybody understand, follow what I'm doing? This blue thing, that's my signal that in my mind, if CRME, Cardiome Pharma, goes through here, then whatever news is happening behind the scenes here, it's real enough for me to now really be interested. Does everybody get that? Brad, nodding, I can't see you nod.
See, I get that. And the thing is that everybody needs to understand that move could take place tomorrow. It could take place in a month, right? And you're going to have different analysis when it triggers. If it happens tomorrow, obviously there's a lot of momentum that's been happening over the last couple days. So that's a consideration. If it happens a month from now, well, then you need to reevaluate. Is this something that still looks interesting based on the time that's expired?
But notice again, windows are showing you things. Now, we're not talking, how did you get this window? By the way, this window, I will, of course, give everybody the ability to have this window who is a subscriber, who wants to subscribe. That's not the point. The point is there's going to be lots of different stocks, and you must learn to watch them. By the way, China distance education. So I see this, and it also alerts my eyes in this way because I'm like, wow. I say to myself very simply, without looking at tons of lines and all this other stuff, I say, Brad, that's a pretty big turnaround, I say. I mean, there's nothing wrong, and this is one of the things that we try to demystify. There's nothing wrong with making fairly broad and yet simple assumptions. Wow, that's a pretty big turnaround. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert right here and say, well, now it looks like it is really breaking out. I hit save. Once again, I have added my own personal fingerprint, footprint to this stock. Okay, I'm not in. Notice that all of these trades, I'm not rushing to get into them. I don't need to get in right now. I want to get in at my level. And my levels and your levels could be different, but the point I'm trying to say is
show how to set a pullback alert there. Like, you know, if it pulls back to like $10.
Well, let's go to, again, but let's not complicate it with too much stuff on the chart. I'll go to another symbol.
All right.
So I'm going to start idea surfing, and I see this, and I'm just talking to you about what I see. Well, that's too much consolidation. Same thing, narrow, I mean, again, narrow range. I don't see anything going on there, just consolidating. And we're going to go back to the top one. So this is the one that we like. So what I do now is I resort. By the way, this will soon be automated. So next thing you'll see is you're going to see all of these ones that are super strong. Now, again, I'm just kind of making an example, but I'm saying to myself, wow, okay, first of all, great call that the AI did on this one, and what a beautiful breakout. So what I'm going to say is this. Brad, you had asked me, I want to know when this stock comes back here, you know, comes back to this area. So I right click and I create an alert. And now because the price is above here, it thinks that I'm going short, but I just switch it to long. And I say it pulled back to now support. And I can even say right here, was resistance. So
you could have, I was going to say, you could have kept that short, and that would have still triggered it. It would have still alerted you when it crossed it. But we do this great thing with respect to the price alerts that allow you to keep track of your profitability since that signal was triggered. So this just allows you to keep track of it in the appropriate manner.
So Brad, very good point. So let me show you guys something. And again, don't get scared because I'm kind of doing this more manually, because again, all of this is pre-set up for the most part. And again, we teach you how to do all this. But when I go to load from cloud, okay, I can just see all of the different things that I can see. Low floats, updated. Again, anything and everything that I've seen, I can select and I can list. Now I can go to the kind of things I see here and I can say, well, wait a minute, I don't want to scroll through this big list. I want to talk about all the stuff that I alerted. Like in other words, my price alerts. So notice I select price alert windows. So price alert windows exist in two ways. One is they're triggered. That means that something has hit my alert and now the P&L starts tracking. And by the way, notice I have nothing. And then the other way is, whoops, I shouldn't have closed that. Sorry about that. And the other one is working. And working are the alerts that I put out there that I want, you know, these are the ones that we just did right now. So what's happening is that, in essence, inside of Trade Ideas, you have a full swing trading system built in. What will happen is this. As I go about my business, okay, of maybe setting things that I like and saying, hey, you know what, continues with me in it, okay? This is just an example. Now remember, because I'm not confined to needing to getting into it right now, I'm setting this to go. So if you want to learn how to do this the right way, if you want to learn what the professionals do, they break it into these small component parts. So here I'm going about, the business of looking at setups. Okay, and what's wonderful here is that this frees you up to not be confined to anything, because you see this and you're like, hey Brad, both things can happen, right? And I'm just saying again, while I personally would not short a small stock, but you can say, hey, if this goes below here, create an alert and say breaking down, now short.
Yeah, and if a stock is this interesting to you where you may want to be short or may want to be long, I would also probably expect you to heart it so that it's in one of your favorite lists.
Well, we'll do all of that. So here again, I'm creating a bracket. So I'm both. I have set this stock up. Notice, much like what the AI is doing you in assistance, Brad, very similar, right?
Sure, and you don't have to be watching it, right?
Right, so remember that no matter what, even if you don't put anything on here, the software is already helping you with a stop and a profit target. But for my own intuition, I want to get short if it goes here below this area, and I want to get long if it continues. I've now got this set up, and notice right here, CBLS. See, it's here. And then this is the short, CBLS, it's here. Nothing I have has hit. And it tells you how far away you are from the alert. Now, once you're triggered, you will see how many points or how much money you're up in the dollar since triggered space. So this is the proper behavior, the proper methodology for succeeding in the stock market. You don't want to confine yourselves to, I've got to have this one type of pattern or this or that. What you want to do is kind of you learn to trust yourself by doing reps. Okay, once again, not interesting. Nothing like, see this area? If it was right here, I would be interested, but this one's not interesting. Okay, I'm gonna again press the currently surfing, and I'm gonna continue, and then I'll show you what else we were gonna do. So here it is. We already did this one. Notice the nice thing is that you don't have to do anything. We've done this one, DO China. It's going through all the windows, and it's kind of talking to you about, hey, take a look at what you liked, because again, you can always delete it. You can always change your point of view. And Kirk, yes, you can get an audible. You can assign audio. So what I'm going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to get rid of this. It's there. Like, if I close this, Brad, does it go away?
You can close it, sure, and it'll pop back up if it needs to, if you get alerted.
So it's like the system is working behind the scenes for you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you why it's so important to take advantage of a lot of the things that we've already done for you. So I'm going to close this up, and again, go back to this beautiful empty space of the toolbar, and I'm going to say new, and I'm going to select the channel bar. Okay, and when things get tricky, and by tricky I mean volatile, where you're not exactly sure what it is that you want to do, okay, what we've done is we've wanted to make it easy for you to keep things simple. So we've created this channel bar where you have these very powerful pre-selected workspaces, and one of my favorite ones is, Brad, the
is the winners channel.
The winners channel, yes. I'm going to go back to it here real quick. I was just playing around.
I'm going to change it back. You know, it's funny. It's called price up movement. It's called price up movement because Scott Trade didn't want us to have winners in there. I need to change it.
They're such idiots. We need to, by the way, Scott Trade, in their infinite wisdom, decided that they didn't want their subscribers to continue. Well, actually, you know, TD Ameritrade bought them and then decided they didn't want their customers to use trade ideas. So it's all good. That's why we have you guys here. Protect us from those mean online brokers who don't want you to have this information. But back to, notice again, you've got a powerful workspace already here. And the beauty about this price movement up, and Brad, you must change this soon because that name is now killing me, is that look at the windows. Biggest gainers today. But Brad, talk to me, why is the sort so important?
Well, the sort's so important because it's really, it's what we call our client-side sort, and it's what's ranking the list of symbols in that strategy. So this strategy is looking at all the biggest gainers today. So all those biggest gainers today are in that window, but we're now sorting it based on this real-time metric, the change over the last 10 minutes.
That's right. So out of all the things that are strong, okay, now look, see, like you've got this one just so strong, up 67%. But with this sort, and we're doing it into the close, you're always focused. The software is focusing you on what's not only up today, but what's moving in your direction right now. These are things you are not going to get on our competitors' platforms. Okay, this dual sorting in one place. I mean, we are, again, we are working this medium in the fabric of it so that you are just that much more efficient. Here's where the software really takes it to another level. Remember, we said everything is here for you. So you open this up and just hypothetically speaking, you're like, NIHD, man, that thing looks great. But you're not that confident in yourself. You're like, I want to get in because this move looks awesome. But where do I get out? I'm reiterating what you already know, which is right here. Notice these little dotted lines are here for you as guide posts, like your trade assistant, trade management, navigation system built inside of the platform. You're not in this trade, but the AI that's sitting behind there assumes that you might get into it and says, what would I be doing if I was the end user? Okay, really quickly, again, once you start understanding how we roll, it makes it very easy to understand why you should roll with us. Brad, what are these squiggly lines that I hate?
The squiggly lines, you hate moving averages, right?
Well, for theater purposes, yes.
Yes, so those must be moving averages.
That's what you're gonna say.
What squiggly lines?
I'm removing your co-pilot license.
You don't like
indicators. These thingies? Don't you want to tell us, like, there's this, the whole point about how we automate what people already do. What is the blue line and the orange line? What are these crazy things? Why are they there, Brad?
So yeah, what we've done is we've recently added some indicators to our charts, and we've added the 50-period SMA and the 13-period SMA onto the charts. But we, the thing is, we have, for the most part, we have these as filters, and whether you're putting on RSI or any type of analytics onto the chart, the idea behind it is that we're utilizing filter technology so that you don't really need to think about it.
Well, also, Brad, the people didn't have to do anything, right? So there's a very common thing to have a chart with a 50-day moving average in orange, right?
In this case,
yeah.
Yes.
Right?
No, it's 50 days.
No, in blue, sorry, the 50-day moving average in blue, and then the 13-day exponential moving average in orange. So this is already done for you, and the idea is that you didn't have to set this all up. We don't need you to open up the hood of your Mustang and get in there with the oil rag and start changing the oil. This, not that that's a bad thing, it's just that in terms of investing, efficiency is very, very, very important. And for you to be efficient, you need to tinker less and watch more. So back to surfing. Why is this channel so important, Brad? Is because for the most part, almost everything that you see, if you are bullish, okay, you will see it here. It may not come as fast as it will come, let's say, through surge, which is one that's just watching for something like boom, surging up. I mean, look at this kind of volume spike. I mean, there's a reason why there's a channel called surge. Look at the relative volume. By the way, probably never heard of this stock on CNBC. Yeah, they don't really talk about this kind of stuff. But here, a relative volume of 58 times normal. I mean, that's something that's got some serious momentum. Here's a stock trading 11 times. Again, something that we've seen. So while this is all tailor-made to be your Netflix, there is no doubt that almost everything will come across this channel as well, whether it's here or through one of these lists. And look at how we break it down. Today, week, year, and then overall. So these are streaming in real time, and here are your overall lists. The beauty here is, and as I go back to the fact that you underestimate how much your brain can do if you don't talk to it, which is why all of the Eastern philosophical kind of spiritual things talk about being present, being in the now, not being distracted with thinking. This is very similar for investing and having confidence in your ability to work the market. You must stop yourself from trying to figure it out. That's the brain working you. Market cannot be figured out. It can be utilized. It is a medium of exchange. The exchange of innovation through public companies happens in the stock market. It's so amazing. What an amazing time we live in. And as you guys all know, there has never been a time when transactions are this cheap. I mean, you have small brokerages like Robinhood, which do it for free, but commissions is never the thing here. Now, you can buy, you know, a $500,000, $5 million position in a stock and sell it for a profit 10 minutes later. You can't do that in real estate. Come on. Just can't do it. So now, let me add one more thing to the mix. Notice, first of all, a couple of things, but software is smart. Brad, as I'm moving around here, notice that the surfing had paused. When I'm back, when I'm no longer in the chart, the surfing turns on by itself until again, something catches my attention. And now it's paused. So I can do a couple of things here. Notice I have a heart. Much like social media, I have now said that Sky Solar Holdings Limited is something I want to keep following. What does this mean? Well, here's what it means. I'm not yet ready for an alert. I don't know what to do with it, but I want to keep an eye on it. So now I've got my own custom channel of everything that I like. And this stock now, the one that I've selected, is already in it. Okay, it's not coming up on anything specifically, but it is now inside of here. And I'm just waiting, you know, to see when and why it would pop into one of these views. So these liked symbols are basically kind of like your mentions. These are in social media or your tags. So when I'm running around the software and as I'm cruising around here, looking at different things, and if I like something, I'll just simply tag it, because again, I don't need to yet know what, I don't have to have a plan. I can just say, keep an eye on you, and this is yet another way to do it. So every time, wherever you go, if you're in any stock, you can always heart it, and once you see it, it will appear in your My Liked symbols. Okay, so there's a question about, you know, also doing a little bit of a tear sheet, and I want to make sure everybody sees that on the right-hand side, we kind of have that for you already. We've gone through the exercise of what does it really take to pull the trigger, okay? And these are the relative high-level things that you can, by the way, customize and configure for yourself if you wanted to, that we look at as the kind of tear sheet check marks that I scan to see, like revenue, they've got some, quarterly revenue growth, got some, being mentioned a lot on social media, cash, etc., etc. You know, you can look this for any stock. Market cap 2.8 million. Oh my God, you know, that's like less than a house. Cash 107,000. How do these people become public? These are the kind of things that help you sort of make that decision a little bit more quickly. That's why that tear sheet is there. The point is, you are quickly able to make this assessment. Oh, okay, they've got a lot of money, you know, versus, okay, they've got some too. Don't be scared. Now I'm going to be like right here and set an alert. Actually, I'm going to set it at the whole number. So, Brad, there's a very important thing that, that first of all, again, in the channel, notice everybody, you have a My Cloud, which is once again that thing that we had talked about, your own Dropbox inside of Trade Ideas. Now I'm going to go into it, and I'm going to go to my price alert windows, and I'm going to go to my working windows and just load them up just to see what I've got. And here's my APTO. So guys, today I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I'm counting right, 7 trades that I'm ready to place in the future. This is how trading is done. Tomorrow, if you do this properly, you will be ready for a bunch of trades that you have been waiting for a long time. That's the right way to do it. It's not just about squiggling lines and watching everything else. You know, it's about the simple methodology of finding what works for you visually. You know, and again, you don't like for here, like maybe there's some bad news. We don't know what's going on. I can put something right here and just say, back on. It's that simple. It does not matter because it's gone, right? It's gone from my mental. I do not need to constantly look at it and be worried about it. When it's time, it's time. And I will tell you, Brad, you and I have been working on this for like 1,100 zillion years. And there's no better feeling than making decisions not during market hours. Like in that time where you're not stressed. You know, you're not under pressure to perform and to manage and all this other stuff. So like right now, this is some of the best times where you can sit there and just channel surf and let ideas come to you. This goes back to the reps. When you work out, when you run, when you do sit-ups, when you do diet, there's really one thing that separates the winners from the losers: reps. Who does it more? There is no software on the planet that allows you to do more visual chart reps than what you're seeing here at Trade Ideas. Not only are we watching the market from the back end and looking at everything, but of course, you're visually training your eyes to say, hey, do you, like, again, your eyes know. There's so much that you know. Like, you know to ignore this. Too little, does not matter. Oh, what is this? Now see, like your eyes are like, hey, I don't know yet. Boom. I'm going to add it to my watch list. Once again, I can make big predictions. This is going big. Maybe. The key is easy flowing. See, above this level, I can zoom out. Why not? Right? Now I don't have to worry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the simple path. This is the KISS principle. And Brad, guess what we haven't even done today? We haven't even gone to the AI. So not only, of course, are you given every possibility to set things up for yourself, but of course, we also have the artificial intelligence, which is your analyst, your assistant, your everything that you can imagine. It's in here. And what this is it's a beacon. It tells you, are things easy? Are they hard? Like today, very challenging day, because look what the market did. It started down, went up, went all the way back down, and then all the way back up. In other words, the predictability of the way that the stocks traded today was very, very unpredictable. And you could tell by the success rate. There is no technology that can outperform what we do in terms of past proofs future. We just work the numbers better. This is a software product that works right now while we're all sitting here. It's studying everything that it did here, and it's going to give you signals, buy and sell signals. And the way that you approach it is the same way that you approach what we talked to you about in Limit Alerts. If you have the capital, you try to take all of them and follow the rules. So from that point of view, we have this thing today. I'm going to bring up the presentation real quick, Brad. Follow the blue rabbit. Okay. In our UI, in the software, we've made it easy for you to track what's working on a number of different ways. But of course, there's the P&L. But we color-coded it so that you are constantly reminded of the fact that if you, for example, did not come when the stock was initiated, you still have an opportunity to get into the better plays, the winning plays, by following the blue rabbit. These are these stocks right here. So we are constantly helping you not only, again, find the things that work for you, but of course also trade around our signals and around the AI. These are all probability-based signals. This is the way that we believe and know is the eloquent way to speculate. Any questions?
Hey, maybe Dan, you could go back into your cloud and grab a couple strategies and share it with the group.
All right, so let's do a couple of them. By the way, you can see how I do it. I can say, hey, watch me. That's the one that we just did. Share, and I'm going to say copy, and then I'm going to go to the chat room, and I'm going to paste that cloud link right in there. So that is there, and then I can remove that, and you can see all the other ones. Another one that's really nice is, of course, the halt resume. That's one that just gives you a different perspective, because you'll instantly know when things are in action. Because the halt and resumes, there's no way to miss something that's going on. Brad, the other thing that I really wanted to discuss today, which I thought was very interesting, was this trade at the end of the day in tech.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, notice this right here. And again, the reason I'm bringing this out is because this is something that people don't often realize can happen. You know, when you look at numbers. So here we had an entry signal, and literally right 10 minutes after the entry signal, it hit the dollar profit target. Why do we have it there? Again, it's a complicated algorithmic process, but the idea is that when something goes up really, really fast, you want to take advantage of the uber eager, or the people that are panicking. So that's what the signal is for. But look what happened right after. Not only did it go all the way back down to where we got in, it went below the stop and continued to go lower. So this happens, guys. This is something that, you know, this is a good rep to show your eyes. I mean, again, look at the stuff that happens right here. Down day, up day, down day. Again, this is what's called stormy waters, you know. But notice, what is the trend here, Brad?
Definitely an uptrend.
And that's the other thing that we talk about, is the fact that, guys, when we put you into things, there are always longer term potential. And Brad, what I want to lead with is this. What are we adding to the charts?
What are we adding? We're adding the, I know we're adding to the
way.
We're adding the swing exit to the charts to give another algorithmic price point that if you're going to be holding this for a longer time frame, what you could expect your exit to be, your stop.
Right. So there's going to be, so we see this. Oh, whoops! I'm gonna let me go to a different channel. So when you're in this, when you're in something like this, you have this dotted line right here. Let me remove this guy. Just get rid of it. This is your stop, or there's going to be another one that's called the suggested swing exit. And the idea is that if you have more capital and you're willing to play with the volatility, what's the AI suggested area where you should, if you wanted to hold longer, you could. someone was asking us, why do people hold longer? And we kind of had a couple of basic questions. The first one is they're crazy. The second one is they've lost their ability to exit because they're afraid. And only the third one is they have more money and they can withstand the position. So that's the thing. Remember, there's only a small time for you to be able to hold it longer. I mean, a small window of opportunity. Are you the more capitalized player? You know it. You know if you are. I don't have to tell you. But we're going to add that for you as well. Let's see. Yeah, Mark, we are going to be adding those resistance and support areas. I mean, guys, if you knew what was going on behind the scenes under the hood, so much development. We're really trying to push technology where it's never been. So more filters, better ability to follow the AI, full AI automation is coming. So a lot of incredible things. Let me just, again, talk about the fact that Barry, who's here helping as well, runs our trading room. It's a fantastic place to not only start, but just continue your mentorship. Barry does an incredible job taking people by the hand through the trading day and keeping a very, what I would call like the TV that you want to watch, the channel that you want to watch is Barry, because we run it like a TV show. I mean, there are people talking about trades, real trades that they're putting on, not like FOMC meetings and bullshit. No one's promoting stuff. It's just about the best practices of getting the most out of the technology. So yeah, no, we love what Barry's doing. He continues to do that. Please join. If you're not doing it yet, you should do it. This is something that's going to be very useful to everyone, because ultimately you're going to have to know what happens when the market turns, and it does turn, and it turns fast, and you want to be able to take advantage of it. This is what this book is about. To some people who are only giving their money to Bob, Ted, and Jerry to invest, when the market turns, they panic. But to other people, a market turn is an opportunity to increase their wealth because they're positioned. Being positioned is everything, and this book will help you with that. So take a look at that under trade-ideas.com/ebook. Whoops. Okay, so listen, Brad, it turns out you can afford to subscribe to Trade Ideas. Do you know why? We are less than lunch.
Because I can afford a coffee and a sandwich.
That's right. We're in the coffee and sandwich area, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's that crazy. Okay, and we are supported by you. There's no advertising and none of this BS. You guys are the reason why all the innovation happens. But we want to give you an understanding that in terms of per day, here's your standard per day on the monthly, and here it is, and premium per day on the monthly, and here it is on the yearly. Come on, people. I mean, if this is what's standing between you and success in the markets, then, you're going to have to get the emotional rings dialed in. Yeah, I don't know why. Scott didn't like the Starbucks. He thought it was going to maybe we would get sued. Everyone, we have a podcast that's growing in popularity, but only because of the kind of stuff that I put in there versus what Jamie does. I joke, Jamie and I do Trade Ideas Friday podcasts, very popular, lots of off-color, but also I believe very useful market commentary, and we really talk to the source of everything: market speculation, big trends, cryptocurrencies, anything and everything that you want to know about trade ideas without any facade. The podcast is a place to join us. Super easy to get a hold of. Please like us on Facebook, Trade Ideas Pro, Facebook/Trade Ideas Pro. On Twitter, we are at Trade Ideas 1, at Trade Ideas. Crack the Inc. 5000, and we're going to destroy it next year if they pay us to show up. Right, Brad?
That's right.
All right, Scott, sir, I think we're finished today with all the questions. We want to thank everybody for coming. Super important to us that you take your time to listen to what we have to say and see how we help you with our software. Scott, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Any questions, just email us, info@trade-ideas.com, and follow all our social media. Share it with your friends. Thank you, and the recording will be up later on tonight or tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Scott. Take care.